Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another game. We are Revolution Esports. I think this is another GM division game. We are in week 6, and I am going to be your play-by-play today. My name is Bite Me, and my color caster, the Bob Rots, the pastel to my easel, will be Worst Overwatch. Why don't you go say hi?
Hello, my name is Wurst, and I will be your color caster for today.
Anyway, so are you ready for today's game? We have Voltage versus I can't remember the other team name.
NoWeaver Esport.
Oh yeah, NoWeaver. So we have Voltage versus NoWeaver. You ready?
NoWeaver Academy. Sorry,
Academy.
my bad. But yeah, this match should be pretty interesting. With these bans, since we've had these bans for more than a week, usually you'd only have bans for a week. Since we're gonna have bans for more than a week, you'll see a lot more practiced of a meta, I believe, than other hero pools. But that's just what I believe could happen.
So what do you looking at these two teams? What do you see?
I'm seeing one team rolling out with the double shield comp, and I'm seeing one team roll out with the Rhine Diva and the Symmetra. So the Rhine Diva team will be much more aggressive, or actually with the Mei, they'll be a little bit in your face than the double shield will be, as you'll see. But the fight is starting.
So Brian May, you have to love it. Anyway, we do have Sigma McCree coming up on the left, trying to divert the attention from the main pulling force. Everybody else, the Zenyatta, the May, they tried to wall off the Zenyatta right there, but it really didn't work out. Prodigy trying to get off a really nice wall, but only really delaying the inevitable as this push continues to happen. Neither team decides to sort of rotate onto the point. They're all fighting on the high ground. They're all wanting to get a little bit of everything. Kyori also able to get Sorrow out on that first bit right there. I don't really agree with the Symmetra pick, but to each their own. We already got a Nano up on the Ryan. Immortality Lamp comes in as the fight continues. Hamburger gets slept up on the high ground right when he's popping his ult, and that is going to be the first fight over. It might look like a Voltage can hold on, but this is going to be a win for NoWeaver.
Oh, actually, seems they're turning it around. The Symmetra got back into the fight, and well, Symmetra carried the fight at the end. Really interesting.
It doesn't work. Symmetra, of course, works.
Really interesting though, because in the beginning it looked really bad for Voltage since the Symmetra got no value since they were so far away and the Symmetra couldn't charge up, and they lost the Symmetra really early, but it seems they were able to stall the point long enough. Oh, and engaging now. There's a lamp.
Ooh, amazing wall off right there. Cutting destruction off. The rest of the team there. Sigma's going to open it up, able to get the Symmetra up in the air, but instead, Dar's going to be like, nope, I'm sorry. Blizzard right there, denying everything, and that is going to be Voltage sticking their foot in one more time. Of course, we are going to see a little bit of a rebuttal by Prodigy. Jam's going to fall down, Sky's going to fall down, and right now we're seeing NoWeaver sort of break through this Iron Shield. This Symmetra's in the backline, having a really hard time getting away, isn't going to be able to get through the D-clutch of NoWeaver, and that is going to be the point switching. 70%, this isn't too bad.
Yeah. You saw there that once the Rhine was dead and walled off after the overextension, it was kind of just the fight was over, and Voltage tried to use some ults to... Oh, they're still trying to recontest them at this point. Not... And they're Diva bombing. That is an odd choice. They're gonna still be committing onto this point here. Symmetra... And, oh wait, Symmetra's doing it again, getting a lot of kills late in the fight. That is... And just the shadow, that would be the point. That should be the point for Voltage if everything goes correctly.
Yeah, we still have Hamburger on the point. Hamburger on the point. We do see Zenyatta coming up from the low ground, but overtime's ticking down, and that's gonna be the first map. Sorrow pulling it up right there. A triple kill. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, Voltage had no right winning those fights, especially after losing members so early, but they were able to stall out fights long enough that one of the problems with the double shield is they can't really take space aggressively since they don't have a Lucio or any kind of other aggressive tanks or supports that can just take space like that. They have to rely on gradually taking space and trying to like combo out the opponent. But you saw there that in their attempts to do that, it just took so long to kill the opposition that the Symmetra or the Rhine was able to come back and get their value, which is not what you want to be seeing.
Yeah, Sorrow definitely playing it, but Sorrow's changed his mind this time. He will not be playing the sexy Symmetra. Instead, he's going to be playing Sad McCree. really only gonna drink a whiskey and try to bring in some high noons right now. I was hoping that Saro would actually be playing the Widowmaker just because I sort of love double sniper meta, but it's not going to be working out too much like that. Saro's going to be antied, coming in, trying to play the game. Prodigy playing a little bit of a flank right now. The Hammond dive seems to be working out pretty good. Lamp does come up, and in fact, the Moths are coming in, huddling really close together, trying to keep their heat, trying to stay warm, but it's just it's going into a tug of war right now. Neither team has an advantage. They're both sort of poking at each other, both trying to find the room, the space, the pick. Lorenzo going in, singling out the McCree now, but Saro's going to be able to pull it back up. That guy's going to get a pick off as well. Weave's doing it exceptionally good, but we've seen Saro, we've seen Voltage pull things out of thin air, so I would not be greater than me to say that Voltage is going to be coming up right here simply because they seem to be able to play these long run games extraordinarily well.
Again, it was looking really good off some really good antis from Kaori, but it seemed that Voltage, it had the staying power on the point, and off some really heroic work from Sora, once again, they were able to sustain that point. Honestly, incredible.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. I was sort of wondering why you left.
My game is fucked.
But yeah, moving into this next fight, you see the mines and the pulse bomb here with the nano blade. You should be seeing them trying to force out Lamp or force out Trans at the very least. They might, even if they don't have it, they should be close to it. You're going to see them try to force out Trans. Oh, and that's Tracer dead, starting the fight. That's not what you want to see from a dive comp.
Oh, Hamburger, no. Hamburger, no. They are going to try to get that positional advantage off. They do get that Lamp out early. That was a little bit too early. Now we do see the Dragon Blade come out, trying to beat up these people like they are some pinatas. Jam, Destruction, Prodigy, still going through the grass, trying to find those last few specks of candy, as Weave does an expert job of taking it back, not falling down to Saro's memes anymore.
Yeah, you saw the mines used to force the Lamp, and then after the Lamp was forced, they had the ability to just go in with the Nano Blade and clean up the fight, even without down one member. Really good from NoWeaver.
Now with the next fight coming in, look at McCree. Is he going flank? He's going, oh, actually, Voltage deciding to go high ground right now, or debating between whether to go high ground or maybe a push split at this moment. Sort of, what's going through their mind? Oh, they're waiting for the Ana to come back.
They're waiting for the Ana, yes.
Going into this first right now, Destruction, bring up really good shield. Bob coming in, tactical nuke game down, 3 kills! Jam, Saro, and Zar are all going to be falling off. Destruction is next on the list, and now Kyle, they're just taking it out.
Without the Lucio, it's very difficult for this comp to really get to space quickly, and you saw them punish the rotation to point there. After a little bit of stalling from Voltage, not sure what that was, but they didn't go completely 100% to start, and so they got caught out by the Hammond and the Diva Bomb. Really just punishing a rotation that is very slow without a Lucio or dive tanks. So
unbind the S key. It's what I say. Just push down W. There's no S key. You don't need it. Look at that guy. That guy is doing a perfect job just pushing the W key. There's no S key. That guy does not believe in the S key, and I love that guy for that. A bomb came in, didn't really get that much work out, as Prodigy's gonna come down here, beat up some people. Saro's in the back line. He's doing something, but I don't. Yeah, Saro's not gonna get anything in that.
Even with a great flank from Soro, the how grouped up they were just allowed the Nano Blade to get so much value without any kind of defensive ult or Lamp to stop the Nano Blade. After they had used all their cooldowns on the Diva behind them. You got to see a last minute contest for Destruction.
Yeah, Destruction and I think, yeah, Destruction and Hammond coming in there trying to just contest, but really that guy decides is not going to allow it. Forcing Destruction to wait a while before he can get on the point. We do see the retake happen, 73% and counting. It's neck and neck right now. All Voltage needs to do is hold this for 2 more fights, and they can win the first map of the series. Fight continues. We do see Ana in a little skirmish with Tracer right now. Saro just trying to screw up with Kaori over here, hoping to get, if not one pick for the start of this fight. And we're just looking for a bad time right now. Look at how the 2 tanks are deciding to dive in the background. Saro get Kaori out there early game. That's a really good pick out. And now Starro is going to be focusing down on Lorenzo. Lorenzo falls down. That's both supports down. Starro, your tanks are going to be taking a majority of the damage right now. Starro readjusting his eyes. Now looking at some of the tanks. Baji is able to get Bingo. There are some re-pushes right here. But Destruction is able to get 2 picks. That is going to be the point. Overtime ticks down 99% for both sides. And that is going to be Voltage taking the first map of the series.
Yeah, that last fight there was just mostly their the composition of Voltage was able to sustain the point a lot harder, and without a big busting ult like a combo, like a Nano Blade, they can't really take that point efficiently, especially with a early sleep from Bingo onto Kaori, with Sora coming in for the assassination. Great play from Voltage there, despite the Nano Blade rotations coming in and winning a lot of fights for NoWeave.
And you can see NoWeave's like work right there. Project comes in, gets nanoed, brings in the sword, and just pile drives the damage.
Yeah, that was the whole the comp there from NoWeave really functioned off of the Nanoblade combos with the Hammond or the Hammond and Diva Bomb combo. Like the only way they can really win fights consistently is with combo ultimates. And without those, the mid fight is just heavily won by Voltage. And you saw that where the staying power of Voltage on a point where there is no combo ults to really end the fight early, they just kind of sustain the point long enough for either reinforcements to come or to get key picks. Especially with in the first point, especially some heroic plays from Sora on both the Symmetra and the McCree, able to keep them in fights long enough and to get value enough to win out the map.
We were actually talking about this. So do you think, no, in your opinion, you don't like the dive, the Hammond dive? You think it's...
I don't dislike the Hammond dive, but I think it's I think even if you're running the Winston into that kind of comp, you're going to run into the same problems where your only way to win fights consistently is the Nanoblade or the bomb engages. And without either of those ults or those combos to really win a fight, you're going to, if you don't end fights extremely quickly or you lose people early, if you go to a deficit against that comp, you're probably not going to win.
Okay. So, what do you expect? Do you think NoWeaver is going to once again run that? Because I feel the Hammond dive, the Hammond dive worked for them when everything was going to plan, right?
Yes.
But as soon as you saw Ana got picked off, both the supports got picked off early. It just wasn't working out for them. So do you think NoWeaver is going to? What would be a good transition for NoWeaver to play right now?
I think that the main problems they had was cleaning up fights where they had advantages in a fight and they simply couldn't capitalize. I think no matter what composition they need to run on both comps, they have to clean up where they have to focus targets quickly and focus targets effectively after getting the first pick. They had no problem getting a first pick, but they just had a problem trying to finish fights as quickly as possible. Because if those fights extend, the nature of the comps they were running, like the Symmetra or the Torb comp, they would just like last on a point and kind of just get value.
Mhm.
And you can't let that happen for too long of a time because you don't have the capability to sustain a fight as long as they do and try to win it. Which is why the combo ults worked so effectively because they're ending fights. The other comp didn't have a defensive ult, and so the only way they just had to end the fight and try to go next. But without those combo ults and you're trying to sustain, you can't really win that fight.
Well, so the next map we have right now is Rialto, the infamous first point hold map. I think this has the most first point holds out of every single map in Overwatch League history right now, although that's not too many games. It's like, what, maybe like 105?
Yeah. It's heavily defense favored, especially on this first point, especially with how long the first point is and the how long the attackers have to get to the first checkpoint. And if you stop the payload near the first checkpoint, it's just heavily favors the defense. Also, with the nature of a lot of the compositions that have been recently since Rialto has been released, a lot less of those dive comps where you end fights quickly, and a lot more of those goats comps or double shield comps where spending a lot of time fighting or a lot of time in a battle, which naturally favors a defense where your spawn is closer. Um, but yeah, this map is this first point especially is definitely defense favored in the map, but as a whole, it's one of the harder ones to three cap, definitely compared to other payload maps. But so as this pause comes in, you're going to be looking at the two comps that the teams are running. You're seeing the Fair Widow, Orisa Diva from Voltage, and the Double Shield Sniper, the original Double Shield composition with the Orisa Sigma Mei Hanzo for NoWeave. The big thing about this comp is they have to make sure that the Sigma and the Orisa are also focusing with on the Pharah as well, along with the DPS. The Hanzo can get a lot of work done against the Pharah if pulls are coming in, if shields are coming in to block Pharah spam. But also on that note, the Widow does offer like another line of sight that is going to threaten the DPS because the Hanzo is the only one that can actually deal with the Widow effectively. The Sigma Shield can delay her line of sight, but if you're not using the Sigma Shield, okay.
He just has to restart.
I see. So you're going to see the Pharah and the Widow are going to make it really difficult for the tank line, especially because they have to divert their focus between both of those to help their DPS get value. Yep. And we will be starting here.
Yeah, so what do you expect out of these two teams that are, what do you see out of both two? I see a Mei, but I don't see a Ryan to back up that Mei.
Mei will be, oh, that's a great early boot from Zisor. Yeah, that should be the fight over. They're gonna have to go back to spawn. The fight never really started, but you should be seeing the Mei is going to, if they don't swap it, the Mei should be trying to get frontline pressure. But it'll be difficult with this Pharah and Widow offering these two lines of attack. And the Mei will have to either try to wall off Widow line of sight, try to force her to move, because outside of that, trying to kill the Orisa with a wall is going to be extremely difficult when damage is being rained on top of you.
Sorry, I'm currently removed from my computer because I crashed.
And you will see, again, Zisor with a great boot, but you do see them move on to the Genji, but a great boot from Zisor again secures the fight. If he does die, but the rest will come in. Oh, Jam gets, but this should still be the fight for Voltage. They simply have more damage and more of a front line here. But NoWeaver is actually making pretty good progress, forcing the front line of Voltage back around the corner. The DPS moving back. You see the